Starting off this countdown, we have Paris Jackson and Gabriel Glenn. Daughter of Michael Jackson, Paris Jackson and her boyfriend Gabriel Glenn have broke things off after more than 2 years of dating. On August 4th, it was confirmed that their relationship has come to its end. Jackson revealed that the two were constantly butting heads. She said, and I quote, "It's a very interesting dynamic. We both have double stubborn energy. I've always known I was stubborn, and I know that he was stubborn because he's a Taurus. The two are in a band together called the Soundflowers, but fans have no need to worry. The band will still remain together." Jackson said, "When we first got together, even if we didn't work out as a couple, we always would want to be in a band together. Our music was one thing we wanted to hold on to no matter what." Continuing on at number 9, we have Dr. Dre and Nicole Young. After 24 years of marriage, Dr. Dre and his wife Nicole Young are getting a divorce. Young filed for divorce on June 29 due to irreconcilable differences. According to TMZ, the two do not have a prenup, but they will be splitting $60 million in real estate. And they will also need to divvy up the profit they made from the sale of their $4.5 million home back in 2019. In our 8th spot, we have Simone Biles and Stacey Ervin Jr. Olympic gymnast Simone Biles revealed to Vogue magazine that her and her boyfriend of 3 years have called it quits. She told the magazine, and I quote, "It's hard being young and having that long of a relationship and then ending it. But it was for the best." The pair went public about their relationship in August of 2017. Biles posted a photo on Instagram of her and Ervin with the caption, "Always smiling with you." But fans knew something was fishy after Ervin didn't wish her a happy birthday back in March. A couple months later, Biles revealed that they have split.
Coming into spot number 7 is Brie Larson and Alex Greenwald. They are one of the more quiet couples in Hollywood, meaning that they just stay out of the drama and scandals. They dated for several years before getting engaged back in 2016. Their wedding didn't come quickly though. They've actually been engaged ever since, until more recently when it was announced that they split. Back in January of this year, 2019, it was reported that they called off their engagement. Source came forward saying they have taken a step back from their engagement for the time being, but they remain close. It comes as a complete shock for fans because they seem like the perfect couple. Brie has often bragged about her man being her biggest supporter. She told Entertainment Tonight, I quote, "He's the other half of the equation. How can you explain support? I mean, it goes beyond anything. He's just my person. He's my best friend." There hasn't been any reasons or juicy scandals in regards to why they split, so many fans are left wondering what really happened. In at number 6 is Fergie and Josh Duhamel. They started dating back in 2004 and dated for a few years before getting engaged in 2007. They ended up tying the knot in early 2009 before becoming parents to their son Axel. What seemed like the picture-perfect family ended in September 2017 after they publicly announced their separation. Fans were shocked when they decided to call it quits after 8 years of marriage. They shared a public statement saying, "With absolute love and respect, we decided to separate as a couple earlier this year. To give our family the best opportunity to adjust, we wanted to keep this private matter before sharing it with the public. We are and will always be united in our support of each other and our family." It wasn't until this year in May 2019 that Fergie officially filed for divorce after 2 years of being separated. Fergie's rep had no comment on the divorce, and Josh's rep did not respond to their request for comment. Halfway through the list, number 5 is Skylar Astin and Anna Camp. This one makes me sad. I love them together. You would really only know who they are if you were a fan of the Pitch Perfect movie series because they starred together in it. The co-stars started dating in June 2013 and they got hitched in October 2016 at a beautiful outdoor ceremony on the Central California coast. Their split was a complete shock for people because they seemed to just have this unbreakable bond. Anna spoke about him to People magazine saying, "Knowing that I have my best friend and that we are totally committed to one another, and just to have that comfort and that safety and that bond where you know you found your person." Ugh, my heart. But after 2.5 years of marriage in April of this year, 2019, they released a joint statement saying, "We can confirm that we have decided to separate, and this decision was made mutually and amicably. We kindly ask for privacy as we navigate this transition." They have both since unfollowed each other on social media. Up next at number 4 is Bella Hadid and The Weeknd. They first got together back in 2015 after they spent a weekend together at Coachella. Must have been a nice romantic getaway because they continued to date for over a year. From the outside looking in, they were a strong couple in Hollywood. People were surprised when reports started to surface saying they split in November 2016. The reasoning for the split was said to be because of their schedules and that they were both focusing on their work. May we never forget that iconic moment 2 weeks after their breakup when Bella walked the Victoria's Secret fashion show and he was the onstage performer. That is one way to run into your ex. Or should I say runway into your ex. Get it? Anyways, then in January of 2017, we saw pictures of The Weeknd with Selena Gomez making out, and shortly later it was confirmed that they were then dating. From that moment on, Bella started shooting the middle finger to media outlets that asked her about the new couple, but the whole angry phase didn't last very long and they got back together once he and Selena split. But once again, as of a few weeks ago, they split up again. It's just getting hard to keep up with them. The first breakup was shocking, but like now people are just used to it.
Making our way down the list at number 3, we have Jesse Metcalfe and Cara Santana. Jesse Metcalfe, known for his role in John Tucker Must Die, great movie by the way, or Desperate Housewives, has apparently split from his fiancée, Cara Santana. A source told E! and I quote, "Jesse and Cara have been together for a decade and have had their fair share of ups and downs. They truly have been on and off several times throughout the duration of their relationship. Recently, they hit a breaking point and have been having issues. Cara really wants a wedding and she feels Jesse is still not ready to commit or agree on when they're finally going to tie the knot. I mean, the couple have been engaged since 2016, that's kinda long time. But rumors began to fly recently because they were spotted back together running errands. It was later revealed that they are not back together, but they're just on civil terms because of living on the same property together thanks to the pandemic. In our second spot, we have Tracy Morgan and Megan Woolover. 51-year-old comedian Tracy Morgan and his wife of 5 years, Megan Woolover, filed for divorce back in July. Although Tracy Morgan is known for his humor, sadly, this is no joke. Tracy released a statement on July 29th to ET revealing this shocking news. The statement read, "Sadly, after nearly 5 years of marriage, Megan and I are filing for divorce. This is a challenging time for all involved, so I ask that you please respect our privacy." The couple got engaged in 2011 and got married back in 2015. They share a 7-year-old daughter together. A spokesperson for the New Jersey Superior Court confirmed to ET that a divorce complaint was submitted for filing, but that this case will most likely be sealed. And in our number 1 spot, we have Mary-Kate Olsen and Olivier Sarkozy. After 5 years of marriage, Olsen and Sarkozy are getting a divorce. But for this pair, it turned out to be very complicated. So on May 13th, they filed for divorce. But according to TMZ, Olsen filed for divorce in April, but it was delayed because of the pandemic. Then on May 15th, Olsen requested for an emergency divorce, but it was rejected. Finally, after the courts reopened, she was able to file her divorce petition. It was reported that the pandemic took a toll on their relationship. In fact, according to one news outlet, Olsen pulled the plug on the marriage when her husband invited his ex-wife to move into their home together during the pandemic. Okay, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want an ex-wife living with me for God knows how long.
Starting off our list at number 10 is Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. They were a random couple from the start if you ask me, but they had a really romantic and sweet relationship for a while. The two of them met back in 2005, although Nick will openly talk about how he had a crush on her ever since he was a kid. I mean, who didn't? They started dating in 2008 and things were moving quickly. So quickly that they got married after only 2 months of dating. Turns out they held a secret little ceremony in the Bahamas. They were married for a few years before having children together in 2011, their twins named Monroe and Moroccan. They seemed to be a happy little family from the outside looking in, but they went through a nasty divorce in 2014. It was reported at the time that Nick filed for divorce after months of turmoil in the relationship. So what was the turmoil? No one really knows, only that rumors were saying Nick was working too much and he never spent time at home. But of course, Nick has a different side to the story. It all seems to be behind them though, as they co-parent their twins while still moving forward with other relationships. Next up at number 9 is Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian. The pair met at the end of August back in 2009 when they described it as instantly hitting it off at a party in Hollywood. Within the first month of meeting each other, they got married on September 27, 2009, which was a complete shock to fans. They were practically still strangers. No wonder they didn't work out. They had a fancy wedding in LA and apparently it was rushed because they wanted to get hitched before basketball season started back for Lamar, who had just signed a $33 million contract with the Lakers at the time. Reports say they were very much in love, and Khloe even took on the role as stepmom to his 2 children, Destiny and Lamar Jr. However, their relationship was far from perfect, and they were always open about their struggles, but also their love for one another. Khloe told People in 2012, "I like to think divorce is not an option." Lamar ended up being involved in cheating rumors and also got a DUI in 2013, where it was reported that he was struggling with a drug and alcohol addiction. These addictions is what led Khloe to officially file for divorce in May of 2016. He later admitted to having multiple affairs, telling Elite Daily, "If there's one thing I regret when I was married, it was having multiple affairs with different women. I wish I could have just kept my dick in my pants." Well said. No one will ever forget the night that he was actually found overdosed in the brothel after the two of them split. But even after the divorce, Khloe remained by his side as a friend. Sweatbear number 8 spot is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Their relationship was talked about from start to finish because the two of them met in 2004 while filming the action movie Mr. and Miss Smith, while Brad was still married to Jennifer Aniston. Rumors were exploding everywhere that there was something going on between Brad and Angelina, and Brad and Jennifer ended up splitting not too long after in 2005. And not too long after that split did Brad and Angelina start dating publicly. Shocker, we knew it the whole time. They were together for years, getting married in 2014 and having 3 biological children together, Shiloh, Vivian, and Knox. They also adopted a son together, Pax, and Brad was a stepdad to Angie's previously adopted kids, Maddox and Zahara. I hope I said all of those names right. They've got a whole soccer team of kids basically. Rumors were always a part of their relationship, which is why it was shocking in 2017 when they split, because the rumors ended up being true. They announced their divorce but kept the details private. All we know is that they were having issues in the relationship. Since the split, they have been able to co-parent in a healthy relationship. Angelina told Vanity Fair, I quote, "We care for each other and care about our family, and we are both working towards the same goal." The story has a happy ending, but it still did not make the blow any less painful for us Brangelina fans.
Coming in at number 7, we have Casey Musgraves and Rustin Kelly. On July 3rd, the two singer-songwriters announced that they will be separating after 2 years of marriage. The pair met at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville in March of 2016. The next year, in October, they got married. In a joint statement, the two said, "With heavy but hopeful hearts, we wanted to put our own thoughts into the air about what's happening." They continued on saying, "We've made this painful decision together. A healthy decision that comes after a very long period of trying the best we can. It simply just didn't work. Though we are parting ways in marriage, we will remain true friends for the rest of our lives. We hold no blame, anger, or contempt for each other, and we ask for privacy and positive wishes for us both as we learn how to navigate through this." They concluded saying that their connection and love for each other will never be erased. Moving on to number 6, we have Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart. Sorry for all you Bughead fans out there, but the Riverdale actors have reportedly split up. The two met back in 2016 on the set of Riverdale. From there, they really hit things off, but always kept their relationship more low-key. Sources say they began dating in 2017 and dated for nearly 3 years. A source told People magazine that the pair had often been on and off again, but they are currently not together. That statement was released when people realized the pair were quarantining separately. This was further confirmed when Skeet Ulrich, fellow co-star, did an Instagram live and answered a question about the pair, and he said they were a very cute couple. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Timothée Chalamet and Lily Rose Depp. Let me start off by saying that these two were a beautiful couple, like holy. The pair were dating for just over a year, but in the May issue of British Vogue, Chalamet revealed that he was single. So all you ladies out there, now's your chance. The two first met while filming The King. Rumors of them dating began in October of 2018 when they were spotted grabbing coffee together in New York. Then they went on a vacation together in Paris, France. In September of 2019, the two were caught kissing each other while on a boat in Italy. But now, Chalamet is back on the market. In our 4th spot, we have Channing Tatum and Jessie J. On April 4th, it was revealed that Channing Tatum and Jessie J had split again. The pair were first linked together in October of 2018. It's said that they dated from late 2018 until December of 2019 when they called it off for the first time. Then in January, they got back together, but now they have broken it off again. According to People magazine, the reason for the breakup is due to their hectic schedules. A source revealed that the breakup was amicable and they feel like they are just better off as friends.
Alright you guys, at number 3 we have Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. What a whirlwind this relationship was, aka a show. Their relationship was exciting for a while, but then it got really hard to follow. Rumors began back in 2010 that they were dating, but it wasn't until January 2011 that the pop stars confirmed their romance. That's when the iconic hashtag Jelena all began and trended on Twitter like it was nobody's business. Their first breakup happened in November 2012 after rumors started that he was involved with Victoria's Secret model Barbara Palvin, who later on confirmed that there was nothing going on. 3 months later, in January 2013, they were back together. We thought maybe this time was going to be the successful round, but then in November 2014, she performed her song The Heart Wants What It Wants at the American Music Awards, and she started crying on stage. She later confirmed the song was about Biebs and that they were split up again. After that, both the singers began to date other people and move on from each other. Or so we thought. Later in November 2016, it was reported that Justin visited her in rehab, so people thought maybe they were back on, but it was confirmed in January 2017, just a few months later, when Selena began dating The Weeknd. Later on, in October 2017, they were spotted hanging out at Selena's home with friends and also went to church together. And once again, pictures of them kissing surfaced in November 2017, and they are back on again. But that lasted until March 2018, when they broke up again. For good this time. Honestly, they could be in the first place on this list just for putting us through all of that back and forth trauma. In spot number 2 is Kris Jenner and Bruce Jenner. Now, this is not to disrespect Caitlyn in any way. I only say Bruce because at the time of their split, she was still Bruce, so I'm speaking the past tense on their past relationship, no disrespect. The two of them were married for 23 years and had 2 children together. You might know of them, Kendall and Kylie Jenner, you might have heard of them before. People watched years of their relationship on their family reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which is why it was a total bomb when they announced their separation in October 2013. They put out a joint statement to E! News saying, "We are living separately and we are much happier this way, but we will always have much love and respect for each other. Even though we are separated, we will always remain best friends, and as always, our family will remain our #1 priority." But even though they were separated, that did not stop Kris from posting an adorable anniversary shout out in April 2014 saying, "Happy anniversary to one of the most amazing men I know. I love you. Wow, 23 years." Their divorce was finalized later that year in December, and after Bruce came out as Caitlyn in 2015, she had nothing but positive things to say about Kris. She told Diane Sawyer, "Kris is a really good woman and I love her to death. The love and acceptance I have gotten from Kris is absolutely overwhelming." Their split and the following aftermath took the world by storm, but the two of them were able to make it out as friends. Taking our #1 spot is Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. This one is fresh off the press. At the time of this recording, this dramatic and shocking split happened just this past weekend. It's Tuesday. It all started back in 2008 and 2009 when they met each other on the set for the movie adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' novel called The Last Song. They became an official couple while shooting the movie and continued to date from there. In June 2012, they confirmed their engagement, Miley being 19 at the time and Liam being 22. In 2013, they officially broke up and called off the wedding. Miley says that she realized how young 19 was and is in a happy place after the breakup settled. But fans were absolutely devastated. Me. From there, Miley goes on to date other people, both males and females, and does a lot of questionable things in the process. But we don't have time to talk about all of that. But 3 years later, in 2016, they are spotted together again, and she is wearing her engagement ring again. They both agreed the time apart was needed and they were excited to be back together. As were we. I personally never thought it would happen after all the crazy behavior she was thrown out there for those few years. The two of them finally got married in December 2018 at a private ceremony in her home in Nashville. The pictures had everyone crying tears of joy, and it seemed like this was going to be a happily ever after. But then this weekend came. Their reps released a statement saying that the two of them have decided to separate after only 8 months of marriage. On top of that, pictures were leaked online just a week after their split of Miley making out and getting cozy with Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn Carter, which obviously caused a whole bunch of chaos. We're still kind of waiting to see how this whole thing plays out.
In our 9th spot, we have Grimes and Elon Musk. After being together for 3 years, the pair called it quits in September of 2021. Apparently, this happened due to the fact that he was always traveling for his work at SpaceX and Tesla, whereas Grimes mainly works in LA. But apparently, for quite some time after their separation, Grimes and their baby were still living with Elon Musk. The two maintained that they were semi-separated but remained on good terms, which I don't think was always the case. Later, Grimes revealed that the two had gotten into an argument over their baby's name and fought days before she went into labor. Then in July, Musk tweeted out saying that pronouns suck, and Grimes did not like this at all. She replied, and I quote, "I love you, but please turn off your phone and give me a dial." She continued on saying, "I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't your heart." She quickly deleted this reply, and Musk unfollowed her the next day. Moving on to number 8, we have Addison Rae and Bryce Hall. TikTok stars Addison Rae and Bryce Hall called it quits in March 2021. The pair began their romance in November of 2020. It wasn't long for the two to call it quits after Bryce Hall was suspected of cheating on Addison, although Bryce denied any of the claims. But this eventually led to the pair unfollowing each other on Instagram. Despite Bryce claiming that all the cheating allegations were false, he said that it drastically impacted their relationship. He said, and I quote, "I'll be honest, I broke up with her because I was completely stressed out with it all. I paid so much in lawyer fees to get all this bullshit off my plate." And even though Addison found a way to trust him again, it still put a lot of strain on their relationship.
And at number 7 is Mac Miller and Ariana Grande. Before his sudden and tragic death in September 2018, the two of them were very much in love and broke the hearts of fans when they announced their split. They built a strong friendship before going public with the relationship in September 2016. They shared a love for music, and because of their friendship, their bond was something that no one could ever question. They were adorable. It was just so obvious how in love they really were, which is why it was shocking when they called it quits after almost 2 years of dating. It was no secret that Mac struggled with a drug addiction, to which Ariana admits feeling helpless towards. Mac was also her rock as she recovered emotionally after the suicide bombing occurred at her show in Manchester. But even after they broke up, they did remain on good terms. They were friends who always had nice things to say about each other, and Ariana continued to encourage him to seek help for his addiction. She posted on Instagram saying, "Unconditional love is not selfish. It is wanting the best for that person, even if at the moment it's not you. I can't wait to know and support you forever, and I'm so proud of you." Fans were happy to know that the two of them were still giving each other love up until his final moments. Next up at number 6 is Chris Pratt and Anna Faris. Some would say this was one of the most heartbreaking celebrity breakups in recent memory. The two actors first met on the set of the film Take Me Home Tonight back in 2007, but Anna was married to another actor at the time. That didn't stop Chris from admiring her though, later admitting that he knew she was the one since the day that he met her. Anna and her husband at the time, Ben Indra, split later that year, and not long after, she started to date Chris. It was a long time coming, I guess. Anna and Chris fell in love quickly and got engaged in 2008 and then married a year later in 2009. They were married for a few years before having their first child together in 2012, their son named Jack. They were hashtag family goals for years, and they seemed wildly devoted to each other, which is why they stunned the world when they announced their separation in 2017. After 8 years of what looked like happy marriage, they posted a public statement online saying, "Anna and I are sad to announce we are legally separating. We tried hard for a long time and we're really disappointed. Our son has 2 parents who love him very much, and for his sake we want to keep this situation as private as possible moving forward. We still have love for each other, we'll always cherish our time together, and continue to have the deepest respect for one another." No official reason was ever given for the split, but they are still co-parenting and on good terms. Halfway through the list at number 5 is Kristen Stewart and Rob Pattinson. Twilight fans were losing their minds when the two of them fell in love off screen and started dating in real life. For years they toyed with the idea of dating and even had their fans fooled a few times as they did fake kissing skits on stage while accepting their Best Kiss awards. Their relationship wasn't confirmed or made public until 2011, but we were all confident about the fact that they've been having a thing for a long time now. She was dating Robert for a while before she began filming Snow White and the Huntsman that exact same year. During the filming of this movie is where she met the director Rupert Sanders. The two of them started filming together in August 2011, and just shy of a year later in 2012, they were having steamy makeout sessions all around LA. Not only was Kristen in a relationship, Sanders was also married and has 2 children with his then wife, Liberty Ross. It was on July 17th of 2012 when the two of them met up and drove around trying to find secluded places in LA. Paparazzi got the best of them and captured their entire makeout session in a series of photos. On July 24th, Us Weekly released the exclusive set of pictures of their makeout session, which left fans feeling completely devastated and shocked. Both relationships crumbled, and fans were not shy when it came to letting the actress know what they felt about her actions. Here we are at number 4 with Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. If you are a fan of High School Musical, then you are probably mildly obsessed with these two as individuals and as a couple. They rocked our Disney World when they became a couple off screen after meeting for the first time in 2005 when they booked their leading roles as Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez. They were just teenagers when they met on set, and it didn't take long for them to become an official couple. For a while, it seemed like they were going to be are high school sweetheart inspirations, but the two of them split in 2010 after going strong for 5 years. No reason was ever really confirmed until later in 2015 when Vanessa opened up about her relationship with Zach during an interview with the New York Times. She said the relationship ended up making her really mean and would cause her to lash out. She admitted that Zach wasn't the issue, but it was the obsessed fan base that he had, aka all the girls, like me. She said, "I went through a phase when I was really mean because I was so fed up. Girls were running after him and I was giving them death stares. Then I realized that's not what that's about. Spread the love, be a good person, they support you, be nice." The relationship didn't last, but there is no bad blood. She's happy in a new relationship and says that her and Zach just simply no longer speak, which is heartbreaking.
Moving on to number 3, we have Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo and A-Rod first met in 1999 when Alex was still playing baseball. Then again at a Yankees game in 2005, but at the time they were both married to other people. Eventually though, things fell into place and the pair began dating in 2017. 2 years later, in 2019, they got engaged. But in March of 2021, the pair split. According to J-Lo's friend that talked about their split, she said, and I quote, "J-Lo insisted on it. There are too many issues that are unresolved. She has been pretty miserable and didn't think it was in her best interest to stay with Alex." Then, only months later, rumors swirled about J-Lo and Ben Affleck getting back together. And now it's official. They are. Hashtag Bennifer for life. In our second spot, we have Shia LaBeouf and Margaret Qualley. This pair started dating after starring in a music video together, Love Me Like You Hate Me. However, in January of 2021, the pair split after Shia got into legal troubles with his ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs. They split just weeks after his ex filed a lawsuit against him. She accused him of sexual battery, assault, and emotional distress. Shia denied all the allegations, but Margaret did not want to be with a man accused of such. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Kim and Kanye. Of course, they had to make it to number 1 on today's list because everything going on between them is wild. On January 5th, 2021, news broke that Kim and Kanye were ending their marriage, and on February 19th, 2021, Kim officially filed for divorce. The two have 4 children together, and that right now is causing a lot of drama. Apparently, Kim was keeping the kids away from Kanye. Kim wants full custody, but obviously Kanye wants joint custody. Kim says that Kanye is unstable, Kanye says that Kim's unstable. It's just really messy. And now it's even worse when you throw Pete Davidson into the mix. That's just adding more fuel to the fire. On June 10th, 2021, during the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season finale, Kim said, and I quote, "After turning 40 this year, I realized, no, I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state. To me, I thought, oh my God, that's when we're getting along the best. But then, that is sad to me, and that's not what I want." Yikes, that's a hard thing to admit. And I feel like their situation is going to just keep getting messier before it gets better.
Starting off our list at number 10 is Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx. This one is still pretty fresh, so if you're a fan, then it probably stings a little bit for you still. They dated for 6 years and recently called it quits before summer in May 2019. There have been a variety of different stories and versions as to why they actually broke up, but a close source to them told Entertainment Tonight, I quote, "They lived separately and in different cities and saw each other occasionally. They just both got caught up with their own families, careers, and obligations that the relationship had to take a back seat." But not long after the breakup, the pot was stirred after images surfaced of Fox partying up with some other woman. It all started when he was spotted leaving a nightclub hand in hand with Sela Vave. Katie has not commented on it, but Jamie took it to social media and did a live stream video where he stuck up for himself, saying that because they are no longer together, he can do what he wants. It was then made into a permanent post on Instagram with the caption, "For the people who care, here is the true story. For everyone else, you can keep talking and calling me a whore, slut, homewrecker, thought, gold digger, and that I should die, and whatever else you want. Because it doesn't matter to me, I am out here to work and do what I love most. Hashtag kill the double standard." This is some seriously hot tea. That was just last week, so I have no further updates for you guys. Not yet, anyways. At number 9 is Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. Fans were speculating for months whether these two were dating or not until they confirmed it back in January 2016, but they didn't just casually say they were dating. They confirmed their relationship when Zayn dropped his music video for his single Pillow Talk and had Gigi getting all hot and heavy with him throughout it. After the video dropped, they then went on Twitter and publicly gushed about how the other one looked so hot in the video. But then they shattered the hearts of all their fans when they broke up 2 years later. They announced these long, heartfelt statements in March 2018, expressing that they still love and respect each other, but as friends. However, since then, they've kind of been all over the place. They got back together, broke up, and then got back together again. However, just a few weeks ago, it was reported that they broke up once again after Gigi was spotted spending alone time with Bachelorette's alum Tyler Cameron. So this breakup wasn't really as shocking as the first time around. Swept our number 8 spot is Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. The couple made headlines on multiple occasions for reasons that no couple actually wants to. They started dating back in 2016, and only 1 year later it was announced that they were expecting a child together. They seemed to have a fairy tale relationship, but then just a few days before Khloe's due date, Tristan was caught cheating on camera with a girl at a bar in Manhattan. Days before she was going into labor. That news alone would probably make me go into immediate labor. Despite the heat and backlash he faced for cheating, Khloe decided to stay with him and work things out. Things seemed to be going better for the pair until once again, hit the fan. Worse this time. Another cheating scandal surfaced of Tristan with another girl, but not just any girl, Kylie Jenner's best friend, Jordyn Woods. For those who may not know, Kylie Jenner is Khloe's younger sister, so Jordyn was basically a little sister to Khloe and hooking up with her baby daddy. Messed up. Just a few days ago, it was reported that he bought her a $400,000 Porsche as an attempt to win her back. I wish my exes would buy me a Porsche as a way to apologize.
In our 7th spot, we have Tana Mongeau and Mod Sun. Seems like Tana Mongeau broke girl code after going after her ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend Mod Sun. It's confusing, I know. She dated Bella Thorne, who dated Mod Sun previously, and apparently they were in like a polyamorous relationship. I don't really know, it's confusing. In 2019, Bella took to Twitter accusing Tana of breaking girl code. She never revealed what she did, but it seems like she was upset about Tana and Mod Sun dating. They kind of had a thing for a while, but stayed apart to avoid drama. Then Tana went on tour with Mod Sun just before the pandemic started. Shortly after, the two went to LA and quarantined together. Anyways, in August of 2021, in a podcast, Tana revealed why the pair broke up. And it wasn't because of the Bella drama. It was because of Tana's OnlyFans. In the podcast, she said, and I quote, "The literal, actual reason we broke up, we were doing perfectly fine as a couple, literally perfectly fine. And then I wanted to start an OnlyFans, and he wasn't. He was not down for it. That was sincerely the reason. I am not shaming him for this because I think obviously, like, let's say I were to talk to him about it in an hour, let's say we sit down, I think he would have seen what it is and what it's become, and become more accepting. But he was very much kind of, you're gonna become a star. And I was like, you've dated literal stars. So, yikes. That's all I gotta say to that one. Yikes. In our 6th spot today, we have Aaron Carter and Melanie Martin. This is another very rocky relationship. The pair started dating in January of 2020, and it's been messy ever since. A week after welcoming their first child together, Aaron announced that they had split. In a tweet, he said, "Due to personal reasons, Melanie Martin and I have decided to go our separate ways." He continued on saying, and I quote, "There has been a very big lie, and my sister communicating with my ex-fiance ruined everything, considering she knew what Angel tried to do to me in court. Thanks, Angel, you ruined my family." So apparently Melanie was in talks with his estranged twin sister, Angel Carter, and he was not too happy about that. In another tweet, he said, and I quote, "I've never felt more devastated and betrayed and lied to in my entire life. This is such a horrible situation considering Prince doesn't deserve any of this, and now it's my job to just be a single father, and that's what's gonna happen." Not only that, but Carter posted on Instagram saying that he was trapped inside of his bedroom because Melanie wouldn't let him leave his house. In fact, because of everything that was going down, Child Protective Services actually showed up at their house. And of course, Carter had to go live on Instagram when they did. But then apparently a week later, the pair were back together, so I honestly don't know anymore. Are they still together? Are they broken up again? I don't know. In our 4th spot, we have John Mulaney and Anna Marie Tendler. After 6 years of marriage together, the couple announced on May 10th that they have split up. John's spokesperson said, and I quote, "John will not have any further comment as he continues to focus on his recovery and getting back to work." Meanwhile, Anna said, and I quote, "I am heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery. So it was John who decided to file for divorce. Later, it was revealed that the pair was going through a rough patch, while also experiencing irreconcilable differences in their marriage. Just months later, John got together with Olivia Munn. Fans were shocked at how fast he moved on. And only months into their new relationship, they announced that they were expecting their first child, which was shocking, not only due to the fact how fast it all happened, but also because Mulaney has also made it clear that he didn't want kids.
Alright guys, at number 3 is Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk. After months of tabloid speculation, their 4-year relationship was confirmed to be at a dead end. A source told E! News they want to stay together for their daughter, but neither of them are very happy. Rumors were getting out of control as to why they split. Many fans were saying Bradley had an affair with his A Star Is Born co-star Lady Gaga. But there has been no evidence to back up this claim, and every party involved, including Irina, deny the rumor. The two of them are now co-parenting their 2-year-old daughter, but still have no comments regarding their split. Unfortunately, this leaves a lot of room for speculation. In spot number 2 is Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter. After pictures surfaced of Miley Cyrus making out with Caitlyn Carter after her split from Liam Hemsworth, people started to focus on Caitlyn's relationship with Brody. They first met at a party back in 2013, and they soon began dating. On May 4th, 2016, they announced their engagement, which lasted 2 years before getting married on June 2nd, 2018. They ended up getting married in Indonesia at the same resort they got engaged at. Always peaches and cream it seemed like, but they called it quits in early August of 2019, just weeks before Caitlyn was in Italy kissing Miley. But the MTV show that Brody stars on, The Hills, is airing right now and revealed that the couple was struggling for a while. In the episodes, we can see that the couple actually has a open relationship, and the other cast members are basically questioning Caitlyn if their marriage is going to work. Their co-star Ashley Waller spilled the tea on their relationship and said, "I've had a lot of conversations with Caitlyn during the season, and her and Miley and Liam and Brody would always hang out together. So I know they've been friends for a long time. I think everyone in the cast knew that it was not going to work out." I mean, an open relationship, marriage, not gonna work. Taking the number 1 spot on our list is Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Their relationship starting was more shocking than the relationship ending, if I'm being honest. They met each other back in 2016 when she made a guest appearance on Saturday Night Live. They started to date down the road in May 2018 and confirmed it by posting a Harry Potter theme picture together with the caption, "You tryna slither in." Only true Harry Potter fans will understand Ariana's joke. Only 1 month into dating, on June 12, 2018, they get engaged. We all thought that it was fake news because there was no way it was real, but it actually was. Wedding plans were in the talks, and the couple moved in together and bought a pet pig. But only 5 months later, they broke up and called off the engagement, obviously. And as we know it, a month later she released her single called Thank You Next, which references all of her ex-boyfriends, including Pete. In the song she says, "Even almost got married, and for Pete I'm so thankful." In the music video we see a picture of her and him, and above it she wrote, "Sorry I dipped." So I guess it's safe to say that she was the one who pulled the plug.
Number 10, Pete Davidson and Cassie David. Cassie David highlighted her experience dating Pete Davidson in the book No One Asked for This. In the book, Cassie explained she met Pete when her dad Larry David hosted an episode on Saturday Night Live back in 2016. The two then started dating soon after. Pete would get a cartoon portrait of Cassie tattooed on his arm and a tattoo of her name on his ring finger, followed by her favorite emoji. In the book, Cassie claimed she was fearful to end things with Pete due to his sensitive state of his mental health, but decided they needed an initial breakup because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. A few days later, she would call him back and say she made a mistake, but Pete said he was the happiest he's ever been, and then would dump her for good 2 days later in a text message so he could get with Ariana Grande. I mean, it is Ariana Grande, so I don't blame him. However, at least give the person a benefit of the doubt and do it in person. At number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. In Katy Perry's heartfelt documentary Pardon Me, the singer admitted that the couple's hectic work schedules and her not being ready for children led to the failure of the couple's marriage. Who can forget when watching the documentary, Katy got a text message from Russell before going on stage for her California Dream Tour. The scene viewers would watch would be devastating as they watched their favorite pop icon break down in front of the camera. Although Russell decided to take nothing from from her during the divorce, he would leave her with a broken heart, and then she would later write about it in her song Wide Awake. Russell Lynn later said Katie being on tour made his heart grow colder, and he also came to the realization he didn't want to be part of the lavish lifestyle anymore.
Coming in at number 7, we have Ryan Seacrest and Shayna Taylor. Looks like third time isn't the charm when it comes to this couple. Ryan Seacrest and Shayna Taylor have broken up. Again. For the third time. Their rep told people on June 29th that, and I quote, Ryan and Shayna decided to end the romantic relationship amicably some time ago. They remain good friends, each other's biggest supporters, and will always cherish their time together as a couple. The couple started dating back in 2013 when they met through mutual friends. In 2014, they broke up for a brief period of time, but then moved in together in May of 2017. In 2019, the pair broke up again, but later that year they were spotted on vacation together and told sources that they had reconnected. But now the couple has split again. So what do you think? Is there still hope for them? Will they get back together again in the future? Let me know in the comments below. In our 6th spot, we have Julianne Hough and Brooks Laich. On May 29th, Julianne Hough and Brooks Laich announced that they will be splitting up after 3 years of marriage. The couple met back in 2013 and apparently hit it off instantly. Then in 2015, after a little more than a year and a half of dating, the two became engaged. In 2017, they tied the knot, but sadly they have made the decision to call it quits. They released a joint statement that read, "We have lovingly and carefully taken the time we have needed to arrive at our decision to separate. We share an abundance of love and respect for one another and will continue to lead with our hearts from that place. We kindly request your compassion and respect for our privacy moving forward." Apparently, the two were social distancing separately during the pandemic, and that's when they started to realize that they didn't mind being apart. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Stacey Dash and Jeffrey Marty. Stacey Dash, the actress best known for Clueless, announced on April 30th that her and her husband will be parting ways. She made an announcement on her Instagram that read, and I quote, "Hello everyone, my husband and I have made the hard decision of ending our marriage. After much prayer, I feel this is the right path for both of us. I wish him nothing but the best." She added, "Thank you everyone for your support and respecting our privacy during this difficult time." This is Dash's 4th time ending a marriage. The two got married in April of 2018, only 10 days after meeting each other. 10 days? That's not enough time to get to know someone. They could have been a serial killer for all we know, but thankfully that wasn't the case. The marriage lasted 2 years before they went their separate ways. Coming in at number 4, we have Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green started dating back in 2004 and tied the knot in 2010. From there, they had 3 sons together. But on May 18th, during an episode of Green's podcast, he announced their breakup. He said, and I quote, "Megan has always been honest with me. I've always been honest with her. We've had an amazing relationship. I will always love her, and I know she'll always love me." Although they both went their separate ways and Megan is now dating Machine Gun Kelly, Green still isn't filing for divorce yet. Source claims that he wants to give Megan space and is hopeful that they will find their way back to one another. That's really cute.
At number 3, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes used to be the ultimate power couple. However, due to Tom's religious beliefs, their relationship would dissolve in a blink of an eye. Now, Cruise has been involved with Scientology for quite some time now, and in 2012, Katie had to use a calculated plan to escape her marriage from Tom Cruise. She even planned to gain full custody of her child. Katie had to do this in order to escape the Church of Scientology's control. Katie then would be granted full custody of her child, and the court would then state her child had to have no connections with the Church of Scientology. So it makes you wonder what goes on in the Church of Scientology that made Katie want to run and protect her daughter from it. Number 2, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. After a long time on and off, the couple announced their split in 2019. Things got a little messy between the two, as Miley quickly moved on with MTV reality star Caitlyn Carter. Miley was out having fun with her new girlfriend, while Liam was left feeling heartbroken when photos of Caitlyn and Miley started to surface, Liam completely hit the roof, and it would be the last straw for the couple's relationship. After finding out Miley's relationship with Caitlyn, Liam would soon shortly file for a divorce, and shortly after, Miley would then split from Caitlyn and move on with songwriter Cody Simpson. However, those two split back in 2020. It seems like Miley wasn't ready to settle down at the time, and hopefully soon the artist can find someone she truly loves. At number 1, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim filed for divorce in February of 2021, almost 7 years after being married to Kanye. Ye hasn't taken it well at all. Ultimately, the divorce led to Kanye's downward spiral, and due to recent events, you can tell his overall mental state has been extremely effective. When news first broke of Kim getting with the comedian Pete Davidson, Kanye lost his cool and began harassing the two stars, to the point it drove a wedge between Pete and Kim, and they had to end their relationship. Kanye has even gone as far to say that Kim won't let him see the kids, and he's even been banned from going to family events. But I mean, with all the actions he's been doing lately, I don't blame Kim or her family from wanting to hide their kids from witnessing what's truly going on with Kanye.
Number 10. Chris Pratt and Anna Faris. When Chris Pratt and Anna Faris decided to announce their split after 8 years of being married, they shocked the world as this fairy tale romance came to an abrupt end. With the couple finalizing their divorce in October of 2018, Chris hinted in social media posts that the two haven't been happy for quite some time. As he said, "Anna and I are sad to announce we are legally separating. We tried hard for a long time and we were really disappointed. Our son has two parents who love him very much, and for his sake, we want to keep this situation as private as possible moving forward. We still have love for each other and will always cherish our time together and continue to have the deepest respect for one another." Ending things on a mutual note, both Chris and Anna have been able to remain on good terms, and they continue to be great co-parents together. And friends, before we move on to this next spot on the list, let us know which divorce in the celebrity world completely shook your brain and you still are not over it down in the comments. Number 9. Jenna Dewan and Channing Tatum. Not so friendly exes Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan went from being Hollywood's it couple to divorced parents, and they haven't made it easy for others to determine whether or not they're on good terms with one another. The two actors began dating back in 2006 when they met on their movie set Step Up. By July of 2009, they tied the knot and began to grow their family, welcoming their first daughter in May of 2013. While the pair became a beloved celebrity couple by many, Jenna admitted in February of 2018 that the pair have struggled with their relationship like anyone else. She admitted they were not perfect and they had their fair share of disagreements. By April of 2018, the couple announced their split in a joint statement saying, "We have lovingly chosen to separate as a couple. We fell deeply in love so many years ago and have had a magical journey together." The couple then went on to say they were moving on different paths and ultimately decided it was best to be friends for the time being. Since the divorce, the exes have been co-parenting great together, and there seems to be no drama between them, at least for now.
At number 7, we have Iggy and Nick Young. After Iggy split from NBA player Nick Young, the star would come out to say that she broke up with Nick when she found out he had brought another woman into their home while she was away. Let's just say Nick thought Iggy wouldn't be watching the security footage, but she did, and he was caught. It was later revealed that Nick also cheated on Iggy with the mother of his child, and that mother would soon be expecting her second child with Nick's kid. He definitely did her dirty on that one. Iggy then took to Twitter to say, "It's never easy to part ways with the person you planned your entire future with." Later, a video would be leaked by Nick's teammate that would highlight Nick bragging about cheating on Iggy with other women. At number 6, we have J-Lo and A-Rod. Now, remember that time when J-Lo was going to settle down with A-Rod, and then it never happened? Shortly after J-Lo ended her engagement to A-Rod, Jennifer found herself back in the arms of Ben Affleck. Now, this would come 17 years after Ben and her called off their initial engagement, so he could get with Jennifer Garner. Ben and Jennifer would pack on the PDA all around the world, and they were planning it for the long haul this time. Jennifer would then later say A-Rod can't take a hit. An insider would then say she gets how Alex feels after they spent 5 years together, and that they had plans to marry, and everyone was rooting for them, but at the end, it was done. All J-Lo wanted for him was to move on, and she wished him the best. Number number 4, we have Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So Jason and Olivia's breakup has been on every tabloid headline for the last couple of weeks. On November 13th, 2020, news would break that Olivia and Jason had decided to part ways. However, an inside source would then reveal the couple had actually split beforehand. Now, Jason has come out to say Olivia left him for her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, Olivia has stated that the two split long before she got with her new boyfriend, and it's simply because they fell in love and she didn't see a path moving forward with Jason any longer. Now, with the nanny coming out with some allegations and Olivia getting served while on set, this breakup has seemed to gotten really messy, and it will probably continue as the couple dispute over the custody of their 2 children.
Number 2, Kris and Caitlyn Jenner. After being married for more than 2 decades, the momager Kris Jenner and 1976 Olympic gold medalist Caitlyn Jenner announced in late 2013 that they have been living apart for a year and they were officially filing for a divorce. At the time, many fans were quick to note that it looked like the pair split ultimately due to the fact that Caitlyn began opening up about her identity and transitioned to Caitlyn Jenner. However, Caitlyn squashed the rumors when she came to say, after 23 years, Kris and I went our separate directions. My identity, it was not a big part of us separating. There were so many other bigger issues out there. She claimed that her transition caused her to be more short-wired with Kris, and that it was that reason that caused their marriage to fail. Since the two's divorce, Kris has been really supportive to Caitlyn, and the pair support each other unconditionally.
At number 10, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. Before Brangelina took over Hollywood, Bennifer was a thing. Actually, I don't know if they had a ship name, but if not, I just made one. You're welcome. Jennifer and Brad's romance story started in the 90s, meeting for the first time in 94, but going on their first date in 98. After 2 years of dating, the wedding of the year took place in 2000 on a bluff in Malibu because nothing says romance and everlasting love like standing on a cliff. Things were okay until Angelina came into the picture after she and Brad met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fast forward to 2005 and Bennifer was no more. They filed for divorce, making room for Brangelina. It was a whirlwind breakup because of the cheating scandals, as Angie became the other woman of sorts, and even as things died down over the years, tabloids would bring this drama up from time to time, almost making it seem as though things aren't exactly over for this unfortunate love triangle. It seems as though Brad and Jen have reunited in 2020 as they are both now single, but I don't know if you can really call it a comeback from that heavily publicized breakup. At number 9, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. 2013 was a rough time for Twilight fans. Not only were they still heartbroken and mourning the death of their beloved vampiric saga, but they were also mourning the death of their OTPs, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Since the beginning of the Twilight franchise, fans were obsessed with Kristen and Rob's relationship, wishing that they would take their on-screen love into the real world. For years, the actors had shut down rumors that they were dating until 2011 when they finally confirmed that they were together. Fans were ecstatic and soon came speculations that a proposal was soon to come, but unfortunately that moment never came. In 2013, while working on the film Snow White and the Huntsman, Kristen was caught cheating on Rob with the film's director, Rupert Sanders. Paparazzi had speculated that something was going on between them for a while, and so they finally got confirmations of this affair when the two were caught getting cozy together. When news of this scandal broke, it got crazy, and soon we saw statements from Rupert's wife, as well as news that Robert and Kristen had broken up officially. This ended with Kristen being labeled a homewrecker, and a lot of people still hate her for it. Rob's heartbreak was heavily publicized, and most people took his side, but really, I think their whole relationship was just a publicity stunt, and they needed a wild way to end it. But what do you guys think? Now, before I continue on with the video, please consider leaving a like on this video and check out my gaming channel, Viper Girl, if you are looking for some more fun content as well. At number 8, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. By now, everyone and their mothers know about Johnny and Amber. Their relationship was highly publicized last year following their trial, but their initial breakup was also a messy ordeal, even though it happened nearly 5 years ago. Johnny and Amber first filed for divorce in 2016, but was finally finalized in 2017. Their divorce proceedings were quite the scandal, as Amber made the accusation that Johnny had been abusive towards her, though now we all know that that was a big ol' ball of BS. In their divorce settlement, Amber was awarded $7 million to be paid by Johnny, and Amber claimed that she would be donating the money to 2 charities, which also turned out to be a lie. And they went their separate ways as Johnny kept their properties and cars. The biggest story to come out of this breakup was the bombshell of Johnny's treatment of his wife. Johnny lost a lot of work because of her claims, and his name was pretty much ruined because of it. Fast forward to 2020, and the drama continues, making this one of the messiest breakups ever.
Number 7. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Just as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie began with a bang on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, their marriage abruptly dissolved in the same manner. The longtime couple got engaged in 2012 and then got married in 2014 at their French chateau. However, after 11 years of being together, the couple decided to split for the health of their family. Pitt then released his own statement saying he was very saddened by the matter, and the only thing that mattered now was the well-being of the couple's children. On September 19th of 2016, Jolie filed divorce papers citing irreconcilable differences and requesting sole physical custody of their 6 children. As soon as the news broke, it didn't take long for gifs and memes to flood the internet. Stars were also quick to chime in. Chrissy Teigen tweeted, "Brad and Angelina, how am I supposed to go to work today?" Adele even dedicated her NYC concert to the former couple by saying, "I need to address the elephant in the room, but it's the end of an era." Since announcing the divorce, Angelina has made some pretty serious claims against Brad Pitt, and Brad has stayed pretty quiet on the matter. As the couple first stated to keep things between their divorce private, this turned out to not be the case, as the divorce has since been smeared across the tabloids since 2016, as the two have since yet to finalize matters officially. Number 6. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. On November 25th, 2020, Megan Fox filed for divorce from Brian Austin Green. At the time, she claimed the two have been separated since November of 2019. After being married for 10 years, the actress ultimately decided to file for divorce, as it was a decision that was a long time coming, especially now that she was in a relationship with MGK. Kelly and Fox met on the film Midnight in the Switchgrass in 2019. In court papers, Megan asked for joint legal and physical custody of her and Green's sons. She also asked to terminate the ability for either her or Green to seek spousal support. However, even though Green agreed to the custody request, he still wanted spousal support to be a possibility. With Fox moving on and looking forward to her future with MGK, Brian has had a lot to say about the matter, even claiming that Megan has been an absent mother in her kids' lives. Hopefully these two can put their differences aside for their children's sake. Number 5. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Back in 2012, former power couple Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes announced to the world they were getting divorced after 6 years of marriage. Now, this split was shocking to everyone throughout the world of show business, and it sparked many rumors and speculations as to why the couple split. One of the biggest rumors of the pair's divorce was that Katie wanted to remove herself and their daughter Suri from any involvement with the Church of Scientology. Cruise then later confirms that the reason his ex-wife filed for divorce came down to the controversial religion itself. With Cruise and Holmes divorced, Holmes was awarded sole custody of Suri, and reportedly that included an ironclad ruling that Suri would not be exposed to anything Scientology related.
At number 2, Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Ariana and Pete's relationship took people by surprise. It was short and intense, and the breakup was messy too. The two started dating in May of 2018, and by late June, they were engaged. They fell for each other so quickly, moving in together and planning their lives together as well. But things ended as quickly as they began, and by October, they were done. After getting tattoos dedicated to each other, they were quickly covered up, and soon the shade began. Shortly after the news of their breakup was broadcast, Pete poked fun at his failed relationship in a comedy set, and Ariana then moved on to subtweeting her ex for shading her. And she even included a reference to their relationship in her song Thank You Next. There was some back and forth shading and dissing each other in more jokes and music, but that all seems to be over now. Ariana is now engaged to someone else, and everyone seems to be moving on now. And finally, at number 1, Khloe and Tristan's relationship absolutely exploded in the media because of cheating and backstabbing and just so much drama. Basically, this whole ordeal revolved around Khloe, Tristan, and Kylie Jenner's BFF, Jordyn Woods. Tristan cheated on Khloe multiple times during her pregnancy, including a few times with Jordyn Woods, who had been a family friend for years. When news of Tristan's infidelity broke, the internet went nuts, and so did the Kar Jenner family. Khloe and Tristan ended up breaking up, and the family also broke up with Jordyn after she backstabbed the family. Kylie weighed in on this scandal, saying how heartbroken she was to find out that her best friend betrayed her like that. The breakup was also talked about on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Khloe's sisters, Kim and Kourtney, came to her side and seriously wanted to fight Tristan. Their relationship has been rocky ever since, as Khloe only keeps him in her life for her daughter's sake.
Starting off this countdown, we have Bill Hader and Rachel Bilson. In 2013, the pair met while on set of the movie The To-Do List. But at the time, they were both in relationships. Fast forward to 2019, the couple had both moved on from their past partners and found each other. The relationship was officially confirmed at the Golden Globes in January, where they made a debut together. However, on July 10th, it was reported that Bill and Rachel have split. Although the two have called it quits, they remain amicable. In our 9th spot, we have Jeff Lewis and Scott Anderson. Jeff Lewis, known for his show Flipping Out, revealed on his radio show on May 4th that the couple will be splitting after a year of dating. He said, and I quote, "We called it quits over the weekend. The last 8 weeks have been kind of rough. He's had a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration, and it got to the point where I felt that he was hypercritical of me." He then said that the reason for their split was because there was a lot of negativity and always a lot of complaining. He also stated that he regrets not going to therapy with Scott, but everything happens for a reason. But then on June 4th, Jeff shared a photo of him and Scott out with another couple. Could it be a double date? We don't know for sure. It may just be that the couple remain amicable. Moving on to number 8, we have Ashley Benson and Cara Delevingne. I wish this one wasn't true. They were so cute together. In early April, multiple sources confirmed that the two had called it quits after almost 2 years of dating. A source said, and I quote, "Cara and Ashley always had their ups and downs before, but it's over now." The pair were first spotted back in August of 2018 when they were photographed kissing at an airport. In 2019, Delevingne confirmed their relationship. Now the two have moved their separate ways, and Delevingne has been separate from Benson, quarantining with her friends.
At number 7, Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris. Now obviously we couldn't make a list talking about the messiest breakups without including Taylor Swift. I mean, she's built her entire career on breakup songs, and you obviously can't have the breakup song without the breakup. Arguably, one of Taylor's messiest breakups was with DJ Calvin Harris, and though it didn't end up with a lot of upfront hostility, there was a lot of shade, a lot of jealousy, and a lot of drama. After a brief relationship, Taylor and Calvin broke up in 2016, and when news broke of their split, it was speculated that they broke up because their spark had fizzled out and that things just weren't working out for them. No hostility and no drama, they just fell out of love. Things were fine until Taylor went public with her new relationship with Marvel actor Tom Hiddleston a little over 2 weeks after breaking up with Calvin. This started to stir drama because some fans as well as some news sources believed that Taylor was only dating Tom to make Calvin jealous. Tom and Taylor were seen traveling together and meeting Taylor's parents. Meanwhile, Calvin was being bombarded by paparazzi asking about his take on this new relationship. Things escalated into the music world as reports came out involving Rihanna into Taylor and Calvin's relationship troubles, and Calvin even alleged that Taylor was still texting him weeks after they were over. This breakup was unnecessarily messy, but it made for some good music content for Taylor. At number 6, Zayn Malik and Perry Edwards. Another complicated relationship here, this time with former One Direction member Zayn Malik and Little Mix member Perry Edwards. After meeting in 2011, dating in 2012, and getting engaged in 2013, Zayn and Perry's perfect world came crumbling down in 2015 after a dramatic and messy public breakup. When news broke of their split, fans just had to know why. These two were loved by so many fans, and for them to suddenly call it quits, people wanted to know what was going on. It was alleged that Zayn broke up with Perry over text, but I don't know if that was really true or not. About a week after initial reports of their split, fans learned that the couple's home was put on the market, and that apparently Zayn had asked Perry to move out of their house shortly after their breakup. Perry was having a hard time with the sudden split, even breaking down in tears on stage at one of her girl group's concerts. Meanwhile, news outlets were reporting on Zayn's parties at his Bel Air mansion. The media as well as fans were divided in choosing sides. Perry was being shown as the blindsided and broken one, while Zayn was being seen as aloof and cold. Not too long after the breakup, Zayn was seen hanging around model Gigi Hadid, and it was thought that Zayn had left Perry for Gigi. Eventually, things sort of died down between Perry and Zayn, with the two subtly shading each other every once in a while. At number 5, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Miley and Liam's relationship was certainly complicated. They were on and off for 10 years before ending things in 2019, and even then, their divorce was messy. Miley and Liam got married in December 2018, but after 8 months of marriage, they confirmed their split and filed for divorce. What made things messy was Miley's unexpected and sudden relationship with Caitlyn Carter. Miley and Caitlyn took a trip together after their respective relationships had ended and entered into a new romantic relationship with each other. A lot of people speculated that Miley had cheated on Liam with Caitlyn and that it was the reason why she left him, but Miley denied those allegations. Liam and Caitlyn's ex Brody Jenner were seen shading their exes for moving on like this, but eventually things cooled off. Miley and Liam's divorce was finalized in January 2020, Miley, and apparently it was a very hard time for Miley as she referred to the divorce as death because it was so big and so public. At number 4, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. This is another one of those relationships that are just hard to map out because they're so all over the place and complicated. Much like Miley and Liam, Selena and Justin were on and off throughout the years, and so their breakup was just as messy because it spanned over a long time. It's almost as though they broke up in stages before finally calling it quits for good. Really, there is no official ending to their relationship because things were always up in the air. They would break up, and then the possibility of them getting back together was always there. Even when the two of them got into new relationships, things would always somehow come back to the two of them. Justin allegedly got into a fight with one of Selena's boyfriends because he still had feelings for her, and Selena would always be asked about Justin even if they weren't together. The time they spent in the news between relationships pretty much serves as their big messy breakup because, like I said before, it spanned for such a long time, it's like it was broken into phases like the MCU. I guess things officially ended for Jelena when Justin married Hailey Baldwin, and let's hope it stays that way because no one needs that toxic energy again.
Moving on to number 3, we have Scott Disick and Sophia Richie. The reality star and influencer Scott Disick and Sophia Richie have called it quits after just over 3 years together. The breakup was confirmed on May 27th after Scott's brief trip to rehab. One source says that they are technically split, but Sophia has been in touch with Scott. Another source says, and I quote, "There wasn't a fight or anything bad that happened between them. Sophia simply wishes to do her own thing while Scott takes care of his health." But another source claims that there's more to it than just that. The source says, and I quote, "Scott is always going to be in love with Courtney, and that's something Sophia has had to face since even before she got serious with him." They continue on to say that Sophia realized that she wasn't going to be Scott's priority. In our second spot, we have Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock. Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock have announced their split after 7 years of marriage. Clarkson filed for divorce on June 4th. A source told People magazine that, and I quote, "Things had changed in their marriage and the split was a while coming. They both work so hard, it's nearly impossible to enjoy each other, especially with the children needing constant attention." Another source says that the pandemic only made things worse for the two and just added too much stress on the relationship. The couple got married back in October of 2013 and shared 2 kids together. Source says that Clarkson is requesting joint physical and legal custody of their children, and also requested that the judge not grant spousal support to Brandon and that they split the cost of the legal fees. And in our number 1 spot, we have Vanessa Morgan and Michael Kopech. Actress Vanessa Morgan and White Sox pitcher Michael Kopech are getting a divorce after 6 months of marriage. On July 27th, Kopech filed for divorce, only 3 days after Morgan announced her pregnancy. On that Friday, the actress shared photos and videos from her baby shower, where she revealed that she was having a baby boy. However, her husband wasn't in attendance. The couple got engaged last July after only a year of dating, and got married earlier this year in January. Now, we don't know why the pair are splitting up, but sources have confirmed that Kopech is the father of Vanessa's child.